The house stood silent, unassuming. It was the kind of place where you might expect to find peace and tranquility, a refuge from the chaos of the world. It was a simple brick structure at 284 Green Street, a house that blended seamlessly into the suburban landscape with nothing to set it apart from its neighbors. The year was 1977, a time when the world was changing rapidly, yet this neighborhood seemed frozen in a simpler era. Nothing about the ordinary home hinted at the terror it held within. It was just another house on just another street in just another town. The Hodgson family, a single mother and her 4 children, were about to face a nightmare. They moved in with hopes and dreams, unaware of the dark presence that awaited them. They would become forever entangled with the Enfield Poltergeist, a name that would later become synonymous with fear and the supernatural. Peggy Hodgson, the matriarch, had no way of knowing what awaited her family. She was just trying to provide a better life for her children. She moved into the house seeking refuge, a safe haven, a place where her children could grow up happy and secure. Instead, she found herself trapped in a terrifying ordeal. The house that was supposed to be their sanctuary became a prison of fear. An unseen force had taken up residence. It lurked in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. It made its presence known through chilling whispers and the unsettling movement of objects. The family could feel its malevolent gaze upon them. This was no ordinary haunting, it was something far more sinister, something that defied explanation. This entity was angry, volatile. It seemed to feed off the fear and despair of its victims. It yearned to torment, to terrify. It thrived on the chaos it created, reveling in the suffering of the Hodgson family. The Hodgson family was caught in its grip. They were powerless against the malevolent force that had invaded their home. Their lives were about to change forever. The events that would unfold within those walls would leave an indelible mark on their souls, and the story of the Enfield Poltergeist would become a chilling legend for generations to come. It began subtly. A series of unexplained knocks. The sounds echoed through the house at night, disrupting the family's sleep. Furniture trembled, vibrating with an energy that defied explanation. The Hodgson children, especially 11-year-old Janet, were terrified. Then, on August 30th, the haunting escalated. A chest of drawers seemed to move on its own. It slid across the floor, a silent, spectral dance that defied the laws of physics. Peggy, witnessing the impossible, felt a chill run down her spine. This was no ordinary prank. Fear tightened its grip on the Hodgson family. What began as unsettling noises had transformed into something far more sinister. They were trapped. The entity was growing bolder, its power escalating with every passing moment. As days turned into weeks, the haunting intensified. The once quiet and serene countryside was now filled with an eerie sense of dread. The family could no longer ignore the strange occurrences that plagued their home. Disembodied voices whispered through the darkness, their words unintelligible but their presence undeniable. The wind seemed to carry these voices, weaving through the trees and around the gravestones, creating an atmosphere thick with fear. The voices claimed the house as their own, taunting the terrified family with every passing night. Shadows moved across the walls, and the broken windows seemed to be eyes watching their every move. The family felt trapped, unable to escape the malevolent presence. Janet, the youngest daughter, became the epicenter of the paranormal activity. She was often found standing alone, staring into the foggy distance, as if communicating with unseen entities. Her once bright and cheerful demeanor had turned somber and withdrawn. Objects flew across the room when she was near, defying the laws of physics. Chairs would topple over, books would fly off the shelves, and pictures would fall from the walls. The family watched in horror, unable to comprehend the forces at play. She levitated in her sleep, a chilling spectacle witnessed by multiple observers. Her body would rise above the bed, suspended in midair, as if held by invisible hands. The sight left everyone in the house paralyzed with fear. Recordings captured the guttural growls of a malevolent entity. The tape recorder, left running overnight, would play back sounds that were not of this world. Growls, whispers, and eerie noises filled the tapes, providing chilling evidence of the haunting. The voice identified itself as Bill Wilkins, a former resident of the house who had died within its walls. His story was one of tragedy and anger, and his spirit seemed unable to find peace. The family learned of his past, hoping to understand the reason behind the haunting. His words were laced with malice, his intentions unclear. The family could not discern whether he sought help to move on or revenge for the wrongs he believed were done to him. The uncertainty added to their growing fear. Was he seeking help or revenge? The question haunted the family as much as the ghost itself. They were torn between trying to communicate with the spirit and fleeing the house that had become a prison. The Hodgson family found themselves living a nightmare. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind sent shivers down their spines. They huddled together, seeking comfort in each other's presence, but the fear was ever present. Their home, once a sanctuary, was now a prison. The walls that once provided safety now felt like they were closing in, trapping them with the unseen forces that tormented them. The garden, once a place of joy, was now overgrown and neglected, mirroring the family's despair. They were at the mercy of unseen forces, tormented by the voice from beyond the grave. The haunting had taken over their lives, leaving them in a constant state of fear and uncertainty. The once happy home was now a place of terror, and the family could only hope for a way to end the nightmare. Word of the Enfield haunting spread like wildfire. The small suburban neighborhood was abuzz with rumors and speculations. People whispered about the strange occurrences, and curiosity drew crowds to the Hodgson residence. Newspapers ran sensationalized headlines, captivated by the chilling tale. Headlines screamed of ghostly apparitions and poltergeist activity, drawing even more attention to the already infamous house. The Society for Psychical Research, a group dedicated to investigating paranormal phenomena, took notice. This organization, known for its rigorous approach to the supernatural, decided to send their best investigators to uncover the truth behind the haunting. Maurice Gross and Guy Lyon Playfair, two experienced investigators, arrived at 284 Green Street. They were armed with an array of equipment designed to capture any paranormal activity. They were determined to uncover the truth. Their mission was clear: to separate fact from fiction and provide answers to the terrified Hodgson family. Gross, a kind and compassionate man, approached the case with empathy. He understood the emotional toll such experiences could take on a family, especially on young children. He saw the fear in the eyes of the Hodgson children, the despair on Peggy's face. The family was at their wits' end, desperate for any form of relief or explanation. Playfair, a meticulous researcher, documented every detail, every unexplained event. His methodical approach ensured that no piece of evidence, no matter how small, was overlooked. They set up cameras, recording equipment, and interviewed witnesses. Every angle was covered, every testimony recorded, in their quest to capture undeniable proof of the paranormal. The investigators witnessed firsthand the strange occurrences plaguing the Hodgson family. They saw objects move on their own, heard unexplained noises, and felt an eerie presence in the house. Objects moved with no logical explanation. Chairs slid across the floor, toys flew through the air, and furniture seemed to have a life of its own. Unexplained noises echoed through the house. Knocks, bangs, and whispers filled the air, creating an atmosphere of constant tension and fear. They collected hours of audio recordings, documenting the chilling voices from beyond. These recordings would later be analyzed, providing crucial evidence in their investigation. Section 5. A skeptic's perspective. Not everyone believed the Hodgson family's claims. Skeptics emerged, offering alternative explanations for the paranormal activity. James Randi, a renowned magician and skeptic, was among the most vocal critics. He argued that the children, particularly Janet, were perpetrating a hoax. Randi suggested that the children, desperate for attention, had devised elaborate tricks to fool the investigators. He pointed to instances where Janet was caught bending spoons and attempting to fake levitation. He argued that the voices captured on tape were nothing more than clever ventriloquism. The debate raged on. Was the Enfield poltergeist real, or was it an elaborate hoax orchestrated by bored children? The lines between truth and deception became increasingly blurred. The Hodgson family found themselves caught in the crossfire. The relentless media attention, the constant scrutiny of investigators, and the terrifying presence of the unseen entity took a heavy toll on the Hodgson family. Janet, the focal point of the paranormal activity, suffered the most. She experienced blackouts, fits of rage, and spoke in the chilling voice of Bill Wilkins. The haunting left an indelible mark on the family. Their lives were forever altered by the events at 284 Green Street. They carried the scars of their ordeal, both physical and emotional. The line between sanity and madness blurred with each passing day. The Hodgson family became prisoners in their own home. The entity, whether real or imagined, had robbed them of their peace. They were trapped in a nightmare, desperate for an escape. The Enfield poltergeist case remains one of the most compelling and controversial paranormal investigations in history. It continues to spark debate and fuel speculation. Was it a genuine haunting, a case of mass hysteria, or an elaborate hoax? The events at 284 Green Street left an enduring legacy. They forced us to confront the unknown, to question the very nature of reality. The case serves as a chilling reminder that some things cannot be explained. The Enfield Poltergeist case is a stark reminder that some wounds run deeper than the surface. The scars of trauma, both physical and emotional, can linger long after the events that caused them have faded from memory. The question remains, would you want proof if it came with bruises? Would you be willing to risk your sanity, your peace of mind, to confront the unknown? The Enfield Poltergeist case stands as a cautionary tale. It reminds us that some doors are best left unopened, some truths are too terrifying to face. But for those who dare to seek answers, the Enfield haunting remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks at the fringes of our understanding. The house on Green Street stands silent now, but the echoes of the Enfield Poltergeist linger, a chilling testament to the enduring power of the unknown.